Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, me and my sister Bethany just got done watching She-Hulk, episode 8 called Ribbit and Ribbit. It was pretty much named after LeapFrog. It's very LeapFrog focused, even though this is the Daredevil episode. And my sister Bethany is going to be in the spoiler review with me. I was waiting all day, literally, to watch this episode. And of course, you know, I was just super excited for this episode because I'm a huge fan of Daredevil. Me and my sister Bethany are OGs from the Netflix Daredevil days. When we saw that clip yesterday, we were super excited because we knew right away that this was the Daredevil episode that we've all been waiting for, and that, we've been struggling, trying to be patient for the episode, even though, again, it's just, it's at the end of the day, it's just a cameo. It's not the Daredevil show, it's the She-Hulk show, and we kind of had to, remember that, as we kept going, waiting for the Daredevil episode. And I just want to say real quick, my reaction to me reacting to the clip was put together in a collage of people's reactions of reacting to Daredevil coming on the scene, and in the Daredevil versus She-Hulk fight scene clip. And that is a big achievement for my channel and for me, that I've always wanted to be in a collage of people's reactions, and I think that's amazing that I was put in that. But she's gonna be, like I said, my sister Bethany is gonna be in the spoiler review, so I just want to say, Bethany, do you have anything to say about what you liked about this episode? I know it's very LeapFrog focused and Jen taking the case. And as we know, Eugene is, I guess, his father, which, if anybody doesn't know this, Eugene's father was the original LeapFrog. And then Eugene takes the mantle of LeapFrog. And that's pretty much what this episode's about, is that, Eugene's father he was what's the word for it? He is a respected client of theirs. He's one of their highest paid clients or whatever.
They're coming from money.
So pretty much this episode's about how he had a defective suit, and he got third-degree burns because he put jet fuel inside the rocket boosters. And it's funny because when we got his intro, we got that clip yesterday, but it was funny because they showed that exact scene, and it's him explaining to Jen on what happened. Oh, I guess Bethany is going to be in this video. I got to scoot over. The thing I really did enjoy is that when he first showed up, he said, what do you say? I'm guard frog. And he's like,
guard dog.
Yeah, and I loved it because they're like, wait, that's your name? He's like, no, it's because I'm guarding this area. My name is LeapFrog. And he tried to get out of there because they were kicking his ass. It reminded me a lot of Kick-Ass, if you guys watch Kick-Ass. It reminded me a lot when Kick-Ass first came on the scene and he got his shit kicked.
It reminded me a lot of Peacemaker.
But Peacemaker too, Vigilante. The character reminded me a lot of Vigilante, the way he was talking, the way he looked, and the way he was acting.
Vigilante was amazing.
But Vigilante is better though, because he actually can handle himself.
He can
so let's just keep that straight. But I just loved how he wants to sue Luke Jacobson, which again is the drip broker, because he's the one that made the suit, the LeapFrog suit. But little do we know to find out when Jen goes to confront Luke about it. Jen's like, oh shit, I don't know if I want to do this because he makes my suits, and I don't think he would have make a faulty suit. And when he went in there to talk to to Luke right away shut her down, saying, wait, you said what about my work or whatever? And he just was offended. And again, Luke reminds me a lot of Edna Mode, and I love that. I love how we have our own Edna Mode in the MCU. It's awesome. And I just love how he shut her down and saying, no, you're blacklisted, get out of here. And I love how he kind of talks, he pretends like his work is talking to him. And I just love that. And he said, get out of here, and Jen's like, okay, I'll see you in court. But the person that, of course, is defending Luke is Matt Murdock, and that was so perfect.
Griffin Matthews, by the way, is the name of Luke.
And that was perfect to have Matt be the one to be Luke's lawyer. Right away when the judge is like, are you going to have anybody defending you? He's like, of course I am. And I was like, right away, I was like, Matt's coming in here because he is a client of Luke's. And I loved that. And the dynamic, I'll let you talk about the dynamic that him and Jen had about how good they are at being a lawyer.
They were so sharp, but his delivery was very calm, very cool.
And precise.
He was so precise. She had a good argument. She was like, this is the precedence. We're talking about merchandise. But he was like, no, we're also talking about superheroes and identity and safety of loved ones. And so that was really, really cool that he was just able to pinpoint that because, of course, he's Daredevil and he's speaking from that experience. And it was just a very smooth.
It was a fine
way.
line of him trying to put his point across, saying that,
But it was just so smooth.
Oh, exactly, but I love...
The case was closed.
Yeah. But I love how, like, he also said to her, like, again, this is something you're not understanding. You chose to put your identity out there, you know, like, in the limelight, but there's some people that want to protect their loved ones. And, you know, and also, you know, if this gets out of, like, that Luke is supplying all these heroes, you know, these suits or whatever, he could get killed. There's some bad stuff that can happen, and the repercussion of what this case is.
And the judge agreed.
Yeah, agreed with Matt.
And the guy, LeapFrog.
Yeah, Eugene,
and I actually have the actor's name here.
But
it was an ad.
But going on to that, the guy that plays Eugene,
he was good. He was nice and annoying.
Yes, he was.
He was super annoying.
What I really did enjoy though is that, you know, I guess Matt smells when Eugene brings out the suit.
Brandon Stanley.
Yeah, brings out the suit. He's like, wait a second, what kind of fuel did you use in your rocket boosters? And he said jet fuel. And he's like, and then Luke's like, that wasn't what I told you to do. That's why that happened. And right away, Jen's like, I can't believe I defended you. Like, you did this to yourself. And I ruined any chances of having any outfits and you know, and losing a friendship. Yeah. And I loved that. I thought that was really good. But I also love when Matt comes to see her at the bar. And like kind of wants to say like, oh, sorry for what happened. And, you know, I'm going to take the high road here. And, you know, I'm going to come over and say sorry. But, you know, he was wrong, you know what I mean? He messed himself up. And that's what Jen even said, you know, I'm not going to be mad at you because my client's an idiot and he kind of messed himself up.
The bar scene was great. I think Tatiana Maslany and Charlie Cox were just really natural chemistry.
Great connection.
And it was a lot of fun to watch on screen.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun to watch on screen. I feel like behind the scenes, they're probably super best friends.
And 100%. And also you could tell that Charlie Cox was having a fun time doing this.
Yeah.
In the courtroom scene, he was cheeky with it. Yeah, I love how he said like, oh, like, I can tell. He's like, oh, he's lying, and then the lawyer's like, oh, or the judge is like, I don't need you to tell me, Mr. Murdoch, that he's lying, and then Matt's like, like smirks at it. I loved how he's kind of like, in a way, like he doesn't care about using his abilities because he knows that like people won't take him serious. Like we're seeing that. It's like he's totally out there about he's lying. You know what I mean? He just doesn't care because he knows that that's comic book right there.
I do like though how Netflix is just like it knows its audience and it's like we know Matt is Daredevil. We're gonna show you him sniffing the air. We're gonna show you him listening because Disney knows that that's what we wanted. This. And so they're not playing around. They're just like, yep, Matt, Daredevil, they're the same person, whatever.
And I love how, like, he's not really, like, hiding it. Essentially, like, he would hide it in Netflix's Daredevil. He'd be very careful what he did. But right now, you can totally tell, this is the Daredevil that's in the comics. I can tell the difference. And again, that's not me hating on, like, Netflix Daredevil. I love that. I love how we get to have both. For people that don't like this more comic accurate, there is a more serious, grounded version in Netflix. I like that.
But for as great of a time Matt Murdock was having, Netflix didn't pull any punches with the actual Daredevil side. He was very action oriented, very fast, very sharp, precise. Yeah. And the punches looked like it hurt. Yeah. They looked like it hurt. But going on from the plot, so he has a drink with Jen. Yes. To like just say, sorry about it. Yeah. And then he gets a phone call and has to leave. And Jen is disappointed. She asked him if he wanted to have another drink. And she's like, "Oh, bummer." And
but it was cute though when he went back to like say something, and he kind of like they have like a moment or whatever. He's like, "Oh, well," he's like, "Oh, I'll see, like, I was nice meeting you," and then he walks out. I love the connection. I already knew that there was
a great smile.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, he does. But like, I already love how there's a connection there. Yeah. And she even knows it.
But she, as luck and timing would have it, gets her own phone call from
Todd. Yes. Todd. I hate that Todd dude.
Todd was awful. Todd is a
piece of shit. He was he literally called her there to impress her with the fact of how he got a Wakandan spear through, technically, from what it sounds like, smuggled in, and it was through the black market, or through an auction. Probably like a black market auction. And he spent what was it, like he said
$1 million.
$1 million.
And he was just very
trying to flex. And he said, "Oh, Wakanda forever." And I was like, "Nah, bro." And she said, "Oh, that makes me feel uncomfortable," as it should. I was like, "That's fucked, dude."
And then, making matters even worse, he kept invading her space.
Yes, he did.
Tried to touch her, and she just stood and was like, "Nope, bye, see you later."
And she's like, "I'm paying you for this time."
Appropriate. But she goes home.
Yes.
And right when she kind of plops down on her couch, she gets another phone call, this time from Eugene.
And that's the car chase sequence as we saw the clip yesterday where Daredevil comes on the scene. That's where Matt went. And boy, oh boy, was that fight badass. Even the rewatch, I was happy.
Great.
And I was correct about everything. I told Bethany, I was like, he jumps off the roof because we saw in that TV spot where we saw the rest of the episodes and we saw this episode of Daredevil and Matt, when she jumps down, she was trying to punch Daredevil for going after Eugene. And I loved it until she ends up finding out that it is Matt. And I was shocked when that happened. I was like, oh, she just took his helmet off. But the way she did it, though, when she did the clap, I was like, that's going to affect him.
And that's exactly
She got the upper hand.
He would have gotten away had it not been for that sonic
clap.
boom
And it
from
messed
the
with
clap.
his,
his
senses.
So that fight sequence was amazing.
So cool.
Again, I don't know who the fight
Marvel
choreographer
does so
was
good.
with this, but it really leaned into... Like the Netflix Daredevil, I go to season 1 because season 3 he had a building fall on him.
Yeah.
Season 2 it was a very divided season. He had Punisher, Elektra,
Defenders season he had a building fall on him.
He had a building fall on him. Well, no, in 3
it takes place after.
Yeah.
So that was I know, but it didn't happen there. It's the aftermath of the building fall.
Aftermath of the building.
You gotta be specific.
My point is that season 1 Netflix Daredevil, he was a little bit
He was
acrobatic.
He was an acrobat.
This,
Comics.
he was major
But this was comic accurate, bro.
Major acrobatic.
The way he was moving. I told Bethany, you think that Daredevil in the Netflix, show was like acrobatic and like comic accurate with the fights and stuff. Wait until the MCU. They're gonna power him up. He's gonna be doing like crazy gymnastics, and that's exactly what we got.
I'll be the first to admit I was worried, but he was like, "No, they're gonna MCU
fire,
him." I'm like, "No,
bro.
he had a building fall on him," and he's like, "No, they're gonna MCU him." And I'm
biggest
like,
grin of my life just watching this episode.
He called that like before even SheHulk came out.
I was like, they're gonna MCU him the hell up like the comics.
So they had the fight, and now they have to go to a place called the Lily Pad because Matt tells Jen Jake was kidnapped.
Yeah, Luke was.
Eugene.
Was taken. And the thing I told Bethany, this dude really has the leap pad just on the lily pad just titled on a building. He's not trying to hide it at all. I'm like, dude's an idiot. Like he's not even trying.
The way he was. So Luke is held captive.
Yes.
And Eugene is like, oh, make my costume this, make my costume that. He said, make it AI with
a British accent.
With a British accent.
I was like Iron Man. I was like, he's talking about Iron Man.
He's talking about Jarvis.
He said shields and make it like like a suit with with a British AI and stuff. I'm like, that's Iron Man, dude.
Everyone wants to be Iron Man.
But I love the conversation that Jen and Matt, I guess you could say Daredevil, but Matt technically, but Daredevil have on the rooftop where I guess they're trying to see how many people are in there.
Before we move on, we forgot one of the most important things of the episode. When she says, so what are you, a yellow devil or something?
Yes.
And he says...
Are you a devil or whatever?
Yeah.
And he's like... And then the music plays the classic Netflix Daredevil theme. And I'll insert it.
So, are you like a superhero? Like the gold devil?
I'm Daredevil.
But I heard it, and that's right away. I was like, they just confirmed that's the theme we're probably gonna have. He's like, I'm Daredevil, and of course it cut the music, and she's like, you're Daredevil, but yet you have a yellow motif, like all over
ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, ketchup and mustard all over your suit.
But the way he said it, he's like, I'm Daredevil. Like,
I loved that. It was clean, but it was like also like it was meant to be a joke. She's like, but you have ketchup and mustard. Right. I loved it.
So that was cool.
Yes.
It was so good hearing that music, and I feel like that's Marvel saying
that's hopefully the theme.
It's amazing.
And I told Bethany, I made a TikTok about this saying, all I need them to do to me to be fully on board, have the Netflix Daredevil intro, and also Deborah Ann Wool and Eldon Henson. I need them to come back and reprise their role as Karen Page and Foggy Nelson. That's the only way I'm getting on board.
No, I really want
think
Elodie
for me
Young
that's
back.
it.
Elodie Young.
That her too, but she's not coming back.
For really quick tangent, Elodie Young and the Cleaning Lady is amazing. It is the best show.
Yeah, I made
TV.
the video.
But anyway, okay, so they go to the lily pad, Jen and Matt, and they're kind of casing the joint. And Jen is like, "Oh, who's in there? Who's in there?" And he's like,
"Hearing
25 people, 15 people, 10 on the first floor." He's like going through it.
And she's like, "How do you know that?" And he's like, "I can hear heartbeats." And she's like, "You can hear heartbeats," and he hears her heartbeat. And right away, the look she gave him, I was like, it's like, oh, really? I felt the connection.
Like I said, there was chemistry.
Such good chemistry.
By the way, camera work in this
such
episode
great.
was amazing.
So good.
Amazing. But so he's like, just follow my lead. I'll take 15 seconds per guy.
Yeah.
That's how long it'll take me to knock them out.
She's like, I'm not going to wait an hour up here while you take out everybody. He's like, your math is wrong. Your math's terrible or whatever. He said something like that. But I love when, you know...
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, he's like, yeah. And that's why
wrong.
he says it, you know, after everything is done.
I thought he said your mouth
No,
was wrong.
your math is terrible. Because she's like, I'm not going to be waiting up here for an hour. And he's like, that's not how long it's going to take
half
you.
an hour.
Yeah, he's like, that's not how long it's going to take. Your math is terrible.
So,
but the thing I really did love, though, is when, what was it? I can't even remember. Well, actually, when I guess you were right, when he just goes off the building. I love how he's just doing shit like this.
He definitely is like fully in his Daredevil power.
But when he goes in, break it down, he was kicking ass.
He this is what I mean. It's like, for how flirty and fun he was as Matt, he didn't pull punches. He had the posture of Daredevil. He had the, like, there's a way
he never skipped the beat. It's like it's like you'd think after the show being done back in, what was it, like when the show got canceled back in like 2018, 2017, whatever, I'm not quite sure. You'd think that for how long he's been out of this character, it would take him a minute, but it's like he never left.
There's a way Charlie Cox moves in the suit.
Yes.
He moves his head.
And his head, and the way he has a look when like the helmet's off. Like,
and he does
so good. Like,
he does this menacing slow walk where it does really feel like, oh, that's the devil.
Like, this is devil's,
the devil's coming after me. It's getting me. One of my favorite lines from Netflix Daredevil is when, in the very first episode, very first few minutes, he said something about like, oh, those Murdoch boys.
They got the devil in them.
They got the devil in them.
I love that.
So good. That is so good. And Netflix is, I think they're really...
They set the groundwork. They set the blueprint. Hence that this is why we're getting this.
They're really...
I'm forever grateful for Netflix in that show because we would not have this if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, good job, Netflix.
Shout out to you. And I will never forget. I still have I've never taken my Daredevil poster down from Netflix. That's still my favorite show.
Good job, Netflix.
Ever.
But Marvel really understands their superheroes.
They do.
I mean, think about it. The MCU. They understand superheroes.
They're peak.
They understand the audience.
Yeah, they do. They listen.
They understand.
Yeah.
So they go in and
he's
wrecking
house.
He has the stick batons.
Yeah, they're called the Billy Clubs.
The Billy Clubs.
Yeah, Billy Clubs.
But
they can turn. They can do. Melvin made this, and they kind of brought that back. Where it's like, I guess you could say Luke made it. And I love how it's kind of like it could be close combat where they turn into nunchucks. It could be a grappling hook. It could be just two sticks. Everything. I love that.
Yeah. He used them very well.
Yes.
We barely saw them. I think.
We saw it one episode, and that was the finale of
episode 2 of
season 2.
Of season
or it was
2,
the before? Yeah, it was the finale because he shows carrying the helmet. Yeah.
Right. He was on the roof with Elektra.
Yeah.
But anyway, he used them very, very well. And then I thought to myself, oh, this is a hallway fight because he was in a dark hallway. But then Jen, She-Hulk.
As we got more dudes, Jen just jumped down. I thought they were dead too because it looked like rubble fell on them.
The ceiling collapsed.
But would she say She-Hulk smash?
She-Hulk smash.
I loved that. I thought that was cool.
She-Hulk smash. And she was feeling good too. She wasn't her
I
own.
loved it.
She had a swagger,
yeah.
You know? So they go in together and it's just
as she just picks up the what was it? Antique arcade, like literally inspired by LeapFrog. She just throws it or whatever, and he's wrecking house. Yeah. And then Luke's like, "This, come on!"
And She-Hulk just grabbed all his ropes and went.
Yeah.
And just.
It was really quick, that fight sequence. He was wrecking house. She got him.
What I thought was so nice, and why I feel like this episode was more than fan service, and we'll talk about that once we're done breaking down the episode, is because as they were fighting, I should say Daredevil was fighting, Jen was trying to talk Eugene down.
Yeah, that too.
They were talking like law strategy.
Yeah, him and...
They're so...
Jen.
Yeah,
I loved that.
They're so good.
And I love how like Eugene's like, wait, are you a lawyer? And he's like, no, I just really
I really like crime shows.
And then he just kicks the dude. People might find that cringy, but that's my problem, is that people don't like having fun. Feels like that's what we're getting in this new phase of Marvel, where people don't like fun, and that annoys the shit out of me.
I think here's what I think. Netflix Daredevil did really well in showing a side of Matt being a little more tortured, a little more lonesome,
and also grounded and darker.
But
and in a real world, like it's more grounded, real world take.
But we have to remember though, in season 1, he was pretty flirty. Remember the real estate agent?
That too. I've specified that. So, it's not like Matt's been like just so serious. He's had his flirty moments. He's had his funny moments. It's like, stop bullshitting. Right. But they're really bringing it more to light because again, This is a new take on Daredevil and a more comic accurate take on Daredevil. I mean, like, yet again, I'll probably put it up, I don't know, on the screen right now. He literally wore a shirt to a Christmas party, a sweater that says, "I'm Daredevil." He did that in the comics. It's like we're getting that kind of like the Matt that just messes around like this, and I like that.
And I think that Charlie Cox is such a good actor, that
and he's happy we're doing something.
He can inhabit all these personalities, the sides of personalities of Matt. That it looks like, you know, he's just so convincing.
And Charlie said, he said, if we do this again, I want it to be something different. I want it to be something new.
You want something different.
He's like, if we're going to do it right, and we're going to do, like it says, Daredevil Born Again. We're going to take a different take on it.
As a, like, side note, I think that things shouldn't be remade unless you're bringing a fresh perspective or unless you have something new to offer. But anyway, it all ends, this fight sequence, when LeapFrog gets the great idea of
jumping out the window.
Screaming his catchphrase, Ribbit and Ribbit.
Ribbit and
jumps out the
Ribbit.
window, forgetting he's on the 3rd floor.
Crack.
Or 2nd floor.
Yeah, his leg just, from what I heard, just shattered, man. I was like, oh my god. I felt it. Yeah, he lived though. He's just holding his leg on the stretcher.
Let's get to the good part.
Yeah, with Matt and
Jen
on the roof.
On the roof. They're talking.
And he said, she's like, you don't wait around for the police. And he's like, no, that's not what I do.
Not no.
Like, she's like, oh, like, when you, like, are you staying? He's like, when do you leave? And he's like, tomorrow. And he's like, you know, maybe I can come, maybe you can come to New York, or I'll come back and I'll take you on a date. Mm-hmm. And she said, why wait? And they, of course.
Or I think she said, why go through all that or something?
Yeah, exactly. Because they had such strong chemistry that they slept together. And I was shocked that I was like, oh shit, like it's happening.
You can still watch this with your family.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, oh my god, I was like, all of us were correct. It's like, you know, we thought that they were gonna get together, and that's essentially what happened. Because they were together in the comics, so it's kind of like, I love how they did that, and they kind of had the open like question of like, oh, are they actually gonna date? We don't know. Maybe we'll see that down the line.
I have a thought. Just remind me about this moment. But the whole story wraps up with she finally goes to her lawyer event to get honored for Female Lawyer of the Year.
But before we get there, I love how when she goes back to her apartments and after they sleep together, Daredevil's walking the walk of shame with his boots off, barefoot, in his costume, just walked. I need to get a poster of that because that's kind of, it's like, it reminds me of something like a Daredevil. No, it reminds me of a lot of Deadpool, a little bit, kind of like, you know, like funniness like that. So I do want to get that as like a poster in my room, probably like on I forget the word for it, but I do like how, like, she's like, oh, like, you think, oh, like, oh, what are you guys still doing here? Like, you guys, the episode should be over. She's breaking the fourth wall. And, of course, that's when Nikki comes in saying, what are you doing? You know, we got to get ready for what was it? The lawyer. But it was like female.
Well, what was Female Lawyer of the Year.
Year awards. Yeah, she's like, we got to get ready for the awards. You know, let's go. Get your dress on. We got to get you ready. And I was just like, yeah, it was because I felt like, oh, it should be over, right? And I thought, but she's like, and she even said, should it be over? And I was like, oh, you know, why are you still, what are you still doing here? Like, it's over. It should feel like it's over.
They did go, and it was really sweet because they made. Oh,
that's fine. They
made a point of having a cute moment with her parents, which remember that because she is excited to be there. She's feeling really good.
Yeah, she's feeling great right now.
CGI artist. I mean,
she's firing at all cylinders. How she's feeling and you know, her getting this award. But it turns out there was an award for everybody.
Every female lawyer stood up.
And Jen was looking around like, oh, this is awkward.
And they didn't even get to have a speech. Like the first two lawyers, the guy like, what do you like about being a lawyer? And it wasn't even a speech, but she took a moment to have a speech.
To thank her friends, her family.
And it was interrupted.
Yes, it was. By the frog, what was it, by the Hulk King?
No, the Intelligentsia and the Hulk King.
Yeah.
And it was awful, and they showed...
But Todd was there, and by the way, I knew that... I think Todd is very involved. If not, he is the Hulk King, possibly. Maybe. Or maybe works with them, and maybe there still could be a chance it could be the leader, I'm not sure.
Well, remember the last episode, or the episode before... Josh, that jerk, downloaded her phone, and he put everything up on the thing.
Yes, he did.
The worst of all. Yeah. He filmed them... having some time together, and he showed it. Yeah,
he filmed them sleeping together, which, on top of that, the person that was talking, the intelligentsia, whoever it was, said, like, oh, you know, she's a, you know.
Oh, she stole Hulk's powers.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve to be a superhero, and she's a slut.
Yeah. I said, Disney is allowing them to say that? I was shocked. Me and my sister were like, oh, shit.
But this is what I mean.
But they wanted to get her
she
to a
had-
point.
She got angry.
And I love how Mallory?
Yeah.
Mallory said,
She
Jen,
said,
don't.
do it.
And then she just smashed the screen. And right away, Bruce said, or I guess you could say Smart Hulk said, saying the moment that they see you as a bad guy that never goes away, when someone sees you in a type of way that just doesn't go away, I see you as a monster. And that's exactly, people saw her as a monster.
Yeah.
And you could tell she's like, oh shit, what have I done? I Bruce warned me about this, and I was kind of like, and remind you, she kind of shrugged it off when Bruce warned her about it, saying, oh, I can control myself.
She said she can control it.
But she didn't.
But here's the thing, is that Josh guy, it was almost the perfect setup, because
Yeah, it was.
One, she thought she was there to be honored, and it
Yes.
turned out every female was being honored.
Yes.
Two, her family was there, her parents, her
She
dad
felt
was so
embarrassed,
proud.
angry,
she was probably
betrayed.
embarrassed, humiliated,
Betrayed.
and that Josh, she really liked
Yeah,
him.
betrayed. You know what I mean? So she
Betrayed,
just
yeah.
wasn't having it.
No.
But
And
damage control showed up, and I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, and the episode ended with her looking at the camera and just this
Like,
look on her face, oh my
what?
gosh.
Like, what now? Like,
Yeah,
that
what
finale next week is going to be insane. The way they left this off. Is she going to go in prison at the damage control facility? If Matt did say I don't think this is what's going to happen, but Matt did say he was going to leave tomorrow. Could he be her lawyer? I don't know. I'm just very interested to see where this finale is going to go. Because I think out of all the Disney Plus shows, this show had the best pacing and also kept the tone. I am loving where Marvel's going this new phase.
I think there's a lot of heart to all
not
those
exactly,
things.
but people, I think at the end of the day, don't like how they don't know where we're going, and people don't like how people don't like how there's new stuff going on, and it's not the traditional. We know what's happening and the usual content. It's something new and fresh. All these shows.
Right.
And they're bringing more of a comedic element into things, along with still the serious stuff. People just don't like, I feel like, change, and people don't like not knowing where we're going.
Well, I think too,
and it annoys me.
I think too that this is, it wasn't that long ago that Disney Plus had been premiering all these TV shows, and it's different. The way Marvel is balancing TV shows
And movies.
and specials and movies, it's a little bit different. But
I'm
anyway,
loving it.
We'll have to do a video on that. But to sum up this episode, I thought it was great.
I thought it was fire.
Chemistry was amazing. I mean, what is you?
I didn't like, the thing is that I couldn't ask for anything more. That this episode was everything I wanted it to be. Again, a lot of people, just from that one clip yesterday of Daredevil, making the comment back to She-Hulk, oh, my butt has yet to be whooped. People said that was cringy. People said that was like, oh, that was a terrible joke. That wasn't funny. People said that, oh, they ruined Daredevil because Daredevil was serious. Same with me. That's what I'm talking about. That even though Marvel said it's a totally different, it's a more comic take on Daredevil, a more like comic version of Daredevil. People automatically get angry because it's not the same Daredevil that's following from Netflix to here.
But I think
that's
is
annoying.
The same Daredevil.
I would say
I would say that Netflix Daredevil always was super charming. He was very charming.
But I would say he's more charming here than what he was there. I do.
Well, the storyline in Netflix didn't give him a chance to explore being charming.
So that's what I'm saying, is that there is a difference, but this is a more comic take that, again, people don't know because most people don't read comics. And I think that's why they have that hard time saying, like, oh, I saw how Daredevil should be here. That's comic accurate. It's like, no. That was more serious, tonal, like, grounded show. And they took some comic elements, but this is a more comic accurate Matt Murdock and Daredevil. People have a hard time understanding that because people don't like to read comics, and people.
Well, taking the show for what it is, because I'm a big proponent of, like, the show is the show. Just like my favorite books get turned into movies all the time. The book is the book.
And of course things get of course MCU makes adaptations, hence Civil War, hence all these things.
I thought one of the most interesting things that came from this episode is the Sokovia Accords are gone.
And
they're gone.
And that was something that I've been questioning this entire time of the show, is what's going on with this Accords. Yeah. And to find out that obsolete. Not even a thing anymore. I said, oh my God. I was like, Cap was correct.
The Avengers broke up for something that didn't even... But think about it. Thanos came down and blipped everybody.
Yeah.
The superheroes are not going to put a call into the government first.
Yeah.
Like,
can we do this? Yeah.
Do you care if I go,
And without them just saying we're doing this, and mind you, Cap was the one that we wanted to go through with this, and Iron Man didn't initially.
Wow.
So Cap was right both times. And I mean, and that's why I bet you everybody's like, no, we're actually going to take this thing down because they saved us. And if you know what I mean, and we're not going to keep this thing if you guys want to they were probably angry at the government saying you guys didn't want them to act, but they're the ones that brought us back.
All right, so last 2 questions for you to kind of wind this up. First question is, how do you think this is going to end? And the second question is, Daredevil appeared on She-Hulk.
Yes.
It's safe to assume She-Hulk will appear on Daredevil show. But now that this is opening up and he's becoming part of the MCU
is
proper,
who's going to be in there. That's what Beth was asking earlier, is who do you think is going to be appearing in the show?
I feel like could be a safe bet.
Yeah, I said most likely Punisher, most likely Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. I think more of the Defenders and stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, I said maybe Ghost Rider, depending. I don't know. I think that they're going to start building up the Midnight Suns. I've been saying that since we're going to be getting Blade soon. And, we already have been hinted to Wolverine and we're getting the mutants and stuff. So it's like, I do think that we could possibly seeing a Defender starting to be built up on top of Midnight Suns thing being built up at the same time.
One last question. Are we ever going to find out why Titania went into the courtroom?
That's great question.
In the first place.
I can't believe I just forgot about that. I totally forgot about Titania
Something
in general.
you said just made it happen
I totally
in my
forgot.
head.
Great question. Like, why did she break into the courtroom? And also, are they gonna address that?
Think about it. Last episode. So this is my last question. What do you think is going to happen? Because think about it. We haven't seen Emil change into.
That's going to happen. Yeah.
We haven't seen any more of Titania. Mm-mm. She's hysterical. Jamila Jamil
she did.
Amazing.
Great job.
We haven't seen Smart Hulk again. He was in.
I think it'll be an end credit or the last part of next episode.
So what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. Personally, it's been going around. Shout out to Robert Meyer Burnett. He's on the John Campea show. He's been theorizing that Hulk's going to be bringing back his son, and that's why this car ship went to go get him
in the last episode.
So I believe it. It's like it could be an end credit.
But I mean, what is going to happen with She-Hulk?
I think she'll be. I think it will get resolved. Because we see in the TV spot that she looks back at the camera and smiles as Jen, and we have yet to see that as She-Hulk. I think that will end the show and everything will be fine. Well, this isn't going to end where she's in prison and doesn't figure out what's going on and them getting her blood. Yeah. She's going to figure that all out and it's going to get resolved.
Maybe it could be Todd because he just seems like a guy who
I got constantly coming back.
Yeah,
something is up with him.
That's true. And he just seems like one of those people. Like I got rejected, so now I'm gonna ruin your life.
Exactly.
And
he feels like the person that would say something that was that line.
Yeah, when he called her a slut, that was so great.
He would be the one to do that.
And it's just so sad because she was feeling so good.
She can't catch a break. Let's be honest. She never can catch a break.
She is such a good person. She deserves.
Jen is a catch. Anybody would be lucky enough to have her.
She is a catch.
And all these dumbass dudes out there are just damn, bro. You just lost the diamond in the rough, dumbass.
I want Jen to be happy, and I want her to date Matt Murdock.
Oh, so bad. That's what I'm saying. They're leaving the door open where I think that could happen. Because even Charlie Cox said that, I'm hoping that, I could repay the favor of her coming on my show because, she let me on her show. Yeah. I hope to God that's what happens. I would love, it's 18 episodes. We're going to see so many people in that show. It's like unbelievable.
I kind of don't want to, though.
When I see it, I'm more open to things than Beth is, because I actually read comics, and I kind of, that's what they want, that's what this is.
I mean, I love how it's 18 episodes, don't get me wrong. I just hope they're more than 31 minutes long, because there have been some short Disney
that's the one thing I gotta agree that it's, I don't like short episodes. Mm-hmm. No one does. I mean, that's everybody's complaint.
Netflix had it right with the hour long.
Yeah, so you never know. Maybe, but then again, it's 18 episodes at the end of the day, and that's. But it's not. But also the way they've souped them up, that's a lot of CGI.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know.
My last note. Speaking of CGI, there were some gorgeous shots.
That too.
I really think that the CGI in the show was good. I know that was a complaint when it first premiered, like the trailer and stuff. But I thought it looked really good. I thought this episode was great.
I thought it was great too.
Chemistry was great. The script was fun, and the actors.
This is, of course, my favorite episode. Of course.
If we look at what Marvel does, Kevin Feige is really good at this stuff, and we think of the team-ups of these superheroes, that's when we kind of see what they're made of. The team-up, Cap on himself is he's fine, he's Cap, he's good. But when he had to work with Tony, that was when you saw kind of...
what they could do together.
And also more of his personality.
Yeah.
And that was great. And then same with even Hawkeye and Kate.
Yeah.
Even Hawkeye and Kate, you saw more of Clint's personality, and you saw the way he would think and watch out for somebody else.
Yeah.
And I just love the Marvel team-ups, and I think Kevin is doing a really good job with that.
I'm like I said, I'm super excited for the future of shows and the movies. And again, I'm one of those people that knows that things need to be different. It's not just going to be some carbon copy of every phase. That because people would get bored. And I understand where Marvel is going, where this is the multiverse saga. They're bringing in more multiversal things. They're also bringing in more comedic things. They're also bringing in more like they're bringing in characters that like not many people know. Like not many people knew that She-Hulk was the first one to break the fourth wall. People thought that was Deadpool. And no, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
It was always She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And already and that's the one thing people have the problem with, saying, why is She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall? She did it first. Not Deadpool.
But also...
And that's my problem, is that people, I do think, need to start realizing that, yes, Marvel usually did the thing where it's like you didn't have to, like, depend so much on the comics, but it seems like they're doing more of that now, where it's like they want you to read some of the comics. And I do think that's a good thing.
I mean,
without the comics, we would not have what we have.
True. Writers are amazing.
And that annoys me.
But they have been putting the QR code in. And that
exactly. That's such a great way to do that, too.
Yeah, it's a fun way.
It's so genius to, like, Easter egg that.
And, you know...
And they're free, too. Yeah. So you can just read them.
And really quick, before I forget, another team-up that I thought showed beautifully what these team-ups can do for a superhero is, of course, Bucky and Cap.
Oh,
so, I mean, that's amazing.
That's what friendship does, and, like, you know what I mean?
But it also, like...
And history.
And I think that... These superheroes, when they team up with the right superhero, is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought this was a great team-up episode.
100%. I'm excited for the finale. I'm really... Oh, I'm sorry, but that was my Siri. But like I said, guys, I'm really excited for the finale. I'm really curious to know down in the comments below. What did you guys think about this, about the episode with Daredevil? Did you guys like it? Was it everything you guys thought it would be? Also, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, part of the fam, part of the channel. Bethany, do you want to shout out your social media?
I'm a podcaster.
Yeah, she is now.
I just started a podcast, and the thing is that I would love for Zach to appear on it because I talk about stories on my podcast. I've been working with writers a really long time, but it's about how to feel like confident with your storytelling. It's called the Confident Writer Podcast.
Yes.
But I love breaking down stories. Yeah. Zachary's really good at breaking down stories. I
love stories.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the podcast one day. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. I always love having people guest star on the channel. Of course, you guys have seen my brother Nick here. You guys have seen my bro Troy here. And like I said, my bro Troy is starting up a YouTube channel. He's gonna do something similar like I do here, reviewing shows, movies, stuff like that. Also, he's gonna be, I think, doing a video gaming channel. He wants to be on doing live streams of like Fortnite and other games. So I'm actually helping him tomorrow to work on his channel. I'm helping him set up his channel. Also, tonight is Werewolf by Night. I will be staying up until 3. I'm gonna give my non-spoiler, and it will drop at 9 in the morning most likely. But my spoiler review will drop later in the day with my bro Troy. He's going to be coming on the channel to do a spoiler review with me.
So it's 3, not midnight?
Yes, it drops at 3.
It's up there.
It said midnight, but I know it's 3. That's when everything drops because it goes with other countries. And
I don't like scary stuff. I will watch this because I'm not.
They said that it's no longer like a comedy. They took all that stuff out. Kevin apparently they were looking at Thor: Love and Thunder, seeing how people didn't like it, how much comedic it was in it. And they took out all that stuff, and they said they're going straight with like a full horror.
Zachary,
that's what they said. I don't know if that's what's true.
Really quick, because this video is running long, but this is the type of person Zachary is. I don't like scary stuff, but there are things that I want to watch, like Stranger Things. And Stranger Things sometimes pushes it for me.
The last season they did.
He will literally watch a show ahead of me and say, okay, you want to fast forward it at like the 5-minute mark? Don't even start the episode, like just fast forward to 10 minutes. That's how nice of a person he is. So I'm going to be watching his Werewolf by Night review.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that, guys. For people that didn't know, I will be doing a non-spoiler and a spoiler for Werewolf by Night. I'm super excited for it, especially since it's a full-on horror. I'm happy. I think this is great for Marvel to like open the horror genre. I mean, they started it really with Multiverse of Madness, and I'm excited.
What if Kevin Feige makes the vampires sparkle?
Oh, jeez.
What if Blade sparkles?
There's so many problems with Blade, but it's a whole other video.
Mahershala Ali is perfect. That is
apparently Mahershala Ali might leave. I've been hearing that, so because he's really angry that they can't even start filming. I hope to God they don't mess that up and they get somebody else, some new writer and new director soon.
when I think of the new releases coming out, Blade was my favorite
Yeah.
because of Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
And
But we'll
speaking
see.
of Netflix shows, he was amazing as Cottonmouth,
Yeah, he was.
right? Wasn't that his
Yeah.
name? Okay, this is going long.
Yeah, but we got in the video here. Again, here, I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.